Well, let's stay with that story. Impala Platinum has temporarily closed its Marula mine in Limpopo after at least 19 employees tested positive for COVID-19. Now, the mine says the employees were asymptomatic. It says that the site would not reopen until further health measures are put in place. Let's get some reaction to this story now from AMCU President Joseph MATHUNJWA. He joins us from Emalahleni, that's in Mpumalanga. Mr. MATHUNJWA, thank you very much for your time. Your union was the first to raise alarm that the mining industry is not ready to ensure that workers are safe. Give us your reaction to these 19 workers now who have tested positive at the Marula mine in Limpopo.
Good morning to you and to your viewers, and thanks for the opportunity. Yes, we received this news with great sadness for the employees of Marula Platinum, where they contracted this disease. And also, even though we say such things, the fact of the matter, it vindicates us as AMCU from our clear-on call that these mines, when they were running for 50% without prepared for the safety of the workers, it will result into closing of the shaft. But however, it has happened. For us is to make sure that we work together with these mines and make sure that there is no further infections. And these regulations that's supposed to be regulated or gazetted today must be enforced without any compromise. And furthermore, as we know that COVID-19, its common cause is with us, what will be the impact in terms of employment? Because when we move maybe to stage 3 or lockdown 3, surely it will give an opportunity for the employers to restructure and use COVID-19 as an excuse to retrench workers. And I think it is an opportunity again for the government to compel these companies to export 100% of the materials to Europe or any countries abroad. But let's work on a ratio of 60-40 in order to compel these companies to have a beneficiation initiative and industrialization in this country to create more employment for the workers and the communities at large.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. MATHUNJWA. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. The minister, Gwede Mantashe, was reacting to these 19 workers who have tested positive at the Marula mine, and he says that he's happy that they were screened and detected before they could go underground. Does that give you a sense that his department is on top of the situation?
I mean, one cannot dispute what he's saying, but at the end of the day, those who are on the ground are the ones that they've got a better story to tell us of what happened, because we still receive some calls that in some of these companies, they don't even having a PPE. I mean, they are not respecting social distancing. The buses are overloaded in many of the platinum mines. So, I mean, it's easy to say it was good to be screened before they enter the employment. But at the end of the day, we received, like, for instance, the surgical mask, face mask underground, it becoming wet, and then they don't have any other mask to change. So there's a lot of gaps that need to be closed. So, but if he was saying such, it's good for them, it's good for the industry. But however, the real picture, I mean, you'll find it at the workplace where our members or workers are phoning in general. We are even phoned by members of other trade unions seeking guidance from us as AMCU. And
let me ask you that, on that very note, where you're saying that you're receiving calls from fellow unions within the mining industry. Last week we spoke to the NUM and I asked them the specific questions about whether they had seen inspectors, whether it be labor inspectors or inspectors from the DMR, who are on the ground monitoring the situation about social distancing and all other health protocols. And they were very clear that they have not spotted any of the inspectors on the ground. Is that the same experience with you, or are your shop stewards not really on the ground at this point?
No, our sub-steward are on the ground. Remember, in some of these mines, they didn't allow our branch leadership to be part of the ramping of 50%. And we have to force the companies to say our offices must be open for our leadership at the branches to be able to assist in terms of compliance. And coming to your question, when we were making this clearance call and after the judgment that was in favor of AMCU by Judge Faniker, yes, we saw DMR flooding Sibanye, visiting with the minister and his entourage, but after then it subsided and is very quiet. So hence, I made it clear in the very same ENCA that, I mean, like for instance, in Northwest, there are about 20 inspectors of different sectors. How are they going to make it? So it is very important that all the structures of health and safety at the mining, they must be trained, capacitated. As we as AMCU online, we are busy capacitating our regional structures and in order to capacitate the branches in order to check to see to it that these regulations are applied accordingly.
Yeah.
But we are still going to face a very serious challenges in terms of this COVID. If this shaft going to be closed, and I'm telling you, there will be a bloodbath of employment in this country, and then it will result into crime. It will have a negative knock-on effect to everyone in the society. Until such time, we are becoming proactive and call this CEO to sit down and engage of how to soften the blow of unemployment, because they are going to use this opportunity of COVID to retrench workers.
Mr. MATHUNJWA, thank you very much for your time, joining us via Skype from Emalahleni in Mpumalanga.